everyone. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's
Happy
Day.
Mother's Day.
Today, our episode will be dedicated to all beautiful mothers in this world. So, let's start with Betska.
Yes, well, what we thought we would discuss today is what did we learn from our mothers that has made us or really helped us in our lives and hopefully made us better people. And I can think of a couple things. Number one, and it's a skill, it's the skill of gardening. My mother loved to garden, and of course, living on the west coast of Canada, our weather is fabulous. So we can have roses at Christmas time, and she just loved to grow flowers and vegetables, and she would feed our family. Growing up as a child, we had a whole acre of vegetables, and I would go and plant the potatoes, harvest the potatoes with her, and plant the beans and pick the beans. And so, oh man, and I do that today. It's a real beautiful gift that she gave me.
It's with Mother's Day, and it's such an opportunity to remember, right, what we learned from our moms. And yet it's like things that we often forget during the year, that it's something to be grateful for, that it's really through a lot of different aspects of who we are and what we believe and where we are in life, that we have to be grateful for, oftentimes our moms. And there are a number of different things that come to mind when I think about my mom. And she grew up very differently than I grew up. She came from a very different setting into what you were saying, Betska. My mom was growing up on a farm, and they worked really, really hard, really early. Like as children, school or education was more secondary. It was contributing to the family, making sure the work was done. And of course, that didn't go unnoticed, like physically, right? Like your physical. But one of the things that I always admired, and I still admire about her, is her perspective of it's not what we have. It's, and you said it this morning, bigger is not always better. More is not always better. She was always somebody, and still is somebody, that is always happy, always looking out for others, always making others feeling good. She's just a light when she's around people. And one of the things that when I started thinking about, because it's not because she came up with so much or she has so much, it's just who she is. And it's that perspective to look at that side and look at that situation or whatever might be going on, and being grateful, being happy, being cheerful, being at ease, and being in balance with what is happening. And I think that is something that I'm certainly not like her in all ways like that. I still have ways to go and things to learn. But I think when we master to be happy without a certain condition being there, isn't that what the true happiness is all about? Versus like, if I have this and if I have that, and then I'll be happy. No, let's get happy. Let's enjoy. Let's appreciate. Let's be grateful for what we have. Let's try and take a perspective of what is going well. And then coming to others from a perspective of providing value and service and being at ease with who we are and what's going on. I think that is probably the biggest lesson of so many that I can think of with my mom.
What a gift she gave you. I mean, that's amazing. That is bravo to your mom. Give her a hug from me.
Yes.
Wow.
She's a quite special lady.
How about you, Raj? What you learn from your mom?
I have learned very special things from my mom because in school time, I was very angry, very spoiling child. So whenever I angry and whenever I demand wrong things with my mom, with my parents, what I learned after when I become mature, she gave me very good lesson: calm, patience, and always positive and kind. Because she was very calm, very very calm person and cool and very kind. I never heard about anyone from her side negative things in my life. Never ever. So that time
Wow.
I always angry on my mom. Why you are giving so much to this, that? So then she always said, no, we always do our best. So that time I was angry. But now when I'm every month and every year becoming more mature, so I'm also keeping that
Mhm.
things from her genes side in my genes. So
Mm.
I think this is the best blessings for me.
Isn't it interesting how as we get older, we take on more and more of that,
Yeah. Now
those
I
traits?
realize, now I realize that power. That is the
Mm,
women power.
mm,
And
mm.
you know that sorry, Marion, go ahead.
No, you wanted to share your story. I'd love to hear your
Ah,
story.
yeah, thank you. But just referring to what Raj said about calmness, what a gift.
Mm,
Because when we are in a state of calm, we can think more clearly. But if we're all rattled and, angry or frustrated or what
mm,
in judgment, then it's very difficult to think clearly. So what a gift
mm,
she gave you. The
mm,
uh, the other gift my mother gave me was the gift of being wary about bad people. It's kind of interesting. I have never thought about it before that was a gift she gave me, but to
mm,
always be on guard, that there could be people out there who could be trying to do something bad to you or whatever. And I'm not paranoid about it or anything, but I just thought, wow, that's the reality of a world. So we might as well accept it and work with it, So anyway, but I just still really appreciate the whole gardening aspect and the metaphor of gardening for life, planting seeds and watching seeds turn into beautiful flowers or beans or peas or whatever. So just very grateful. Yeah.
mm. When you're mentioning about, people that might, are not good for us, it's it's one of those topics that sometimes, when you hear about it or when you talk about it, that I come to the conclusion, what if we are looking at it? I mean, of course, not harming or, hurting someone, but like experiences of people that are not making us feel good or treating us unfairly or, whatever the situation might be. And what if all of that is a learning? What if there's something that we just still have to learn? Because to your point, I had many experiences where I felt like, how could this person do this to me? Why didn't they, share that with me up front? Why weren't they honest? Why weren't they more considerate? And I came to find out that not everybody thinks the way that I do. Not everybody has the level of integrity and honesty where I would rather upfront bring up if I feel like that has a negative impact for someone than trying to hide that and then for my own benefit. And I came to find that perhaps those are just learnings that we have to go through in life. And not that it makes the experience any better, but it makes it better to deal with the aftermath and releasing
Absolutely.
and forgiving.
Oh, huge on the
You
forgiveness
know,
part. It's
one
huge.
more
Yeah.
very interesting thing I learned from my mom's side, when I was in school, so I always criticize my friends and other people just for silly reasons, silly. So she always said, you always look for positive side. Whenever you meet people, don't look negative. Otherwise, you will not involve with anyone.
Mm,
So I really love that point now. This is very
hmm
important. So
Oh, yes,
now
huge.
I am
Yep.
also now last more than 10 year, I think I'm seeing whenever I meet people, I always looking positive side. I never go for negative side because
mm,
otherwise I will lose everyone, because
yes.
everyone have a good and bad habits. So you adopt, if you want to adopt a accept any friend, so they have good and bad both, so you accept as a friend. So you accept as a bad habit also and good habit also. That I learn in my journey.
And spiritually, when we are looking at their positive side more, we
Yeah.
are encouraging more of their positive side,
Mhm.
right? So, well, listen, thank you guys for this great conversation. And I'm going to invite all of the people listening to this to think about what are some of the great things that they learned from their mom. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Can anybody out there